Hello and welcome to Bethlehem Corner. My name is Janine Santoro and I currently serve the City of Bethlehem as the Director of Equity and Inclusion. Today we'll be speaking with Dr. Wandalyn Enix, who made history on Tuesday, February 1st, the first day of Black History Month, for becoming Bethlehem's first Black City Council member. Thanks for joining us. First, congratulations on your historic appointment, Dr. Enix.
Thank you very, very much.
Last Tuesday was an exhilarating night and people from all walks of life came out to speak in support of you. For those that don't know a lot about you, can you tell our folks a bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, well, firstly, I am pleased to be here. So very, very pleased. I love Bethlehem. I call it beloved Bethlehem. But I was born and raised in Bethlehem, for those who do not know. I graduated from Liberty High School, class of '65, very proud, the Hurricanes. I went on to study at Howard University in Washington, D.C. And at Howard, I majored in history, a little bit of political science, and I spent a lot of time in the music department. I returned to Bethlehem and I became a teacher, a social studies teacher at Brockle. Brockle was our family school. 2 generations of Enixes went to Brockle. We loved Brockle, and I loved teaching at Brockle. I went on to teach at Nichman, same subject. It was urban studies. I taught the economics, the political life of the cities, size, shape, building development, and education in the inner city. I also went on to Temple University, where I love that experience too. I earned the Doctorate of Education. And I then went on to Montclair State in New Jersey, where I taught teachers for almost 30 years. So I am now Professor Emeritus after all of that experience, which, by the way, I was able to travel the world, not only the United States, but different countries in the world through Montclair State's Global Education Program.
We're currently standing in the hallway with almost 75 past and present City Council members.
Wow.
And so what is it about this specific time in 2022 and at your point in this life that you thought you should put your name in for City Council?
Oh my goodness, this is a wonderful experience. I haven't seen this, or probably walked in here and never really noticed it, but it's wonderful. I was in the process of writing a book, I still am, on an aspect of the history of Bethlehem. And I thought to myself, Wandalyn, why don't you try it? Just, write a letter, study up the issues, because I follow them all along anyway. Why don't I just try it? In the history of Bethlehem, like I said, I was writing the history, Elliot Blue, he was our first Black police officer. He attempted, this was way back, I was a little girl, in the 50s. And then Reverend Roberts, who was the pastor of St. John AME Zion Church, the church on Pawnee Street. I knew his whole family. His wife was the first Black teacher in Bethlehem. So he tried. He lost by 95 votes. That's what the Morning Call says. It was 95. His daughter, however, says he lost by 19 votes. And then Reverend Hargrove, another pastor who was very, very renowned all over Bethlehem, he tried and he lost. I don't remember how. And of course, everybody knows Mrs. Lee tried over and over and over and over. So I said, okay, this is a selection. Maybe you'll have a chance. And so that's what I did.
I have to tell you, Dr. Enix, is I have run into probably, I don't even know how many people in the past week that said, I knew Dr. Enix when we went to Liberty together. I knew Dr. Enix from church. I saw somebody yesterday at the grocery store that's just like, oh my gosh, I saw Dr. Enix got picked, and I said to myself, that is exactly what the city of Bethlehem needs. You've probably gotten a lot of that over the past week.
I'm not on social media, but my friends who are tell me there are about 300 statements on that. And I'm there, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. But I love Bethlehem. Always did. My father did too. And so I'm just happy to serve. Like I was telling Janine, I was writing history, you know, from a perspective that's not normally written.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing that. I have to do that. But then I said, this is an opportunity to make it.
Yes.
So I'll make it and go back and write it.
You are absolutely making history, and I know you know, you've sat in this room a lot for meetings in the mayor's conference room, but you know, it's being down there. I mean, it was a thrill for everybody, I think, to see City Council vote for you last week, and it's going to be a thrill to see you be a part of this, you know, this next stage of our growth. And I know that you and Janine were talking when, you know, when we look at that hallway out there with just the pictures of the city council people, you know, it's one part of Bethlehem history, but as you know, there's a lot of other parts of Bethlehem history that have not been told.
Exactly.
And you know, you've been telling those stories for years.
Oh, sure. In fact, Janine and I was just talking to her, telling her about the people who, in my community, who ran for city council in the past, and I knew them and their families. And so I'm here now. I wish I could tell them, hi, I made it. Well, we want to push Bethlehem forward.
Yeah.
We need to push it forward, while at the same time we need to care about the residents.
Yep.
And the people who lived here and who were born here, who, you know, I know some people who wanted to return, but they can't get into the housing market, you know?
Yeah. And I look at it as Bethlehem has always been a place where you could move no matter how much money you had, no matter where you were coming with.
That's right.
So you could have a lot of resources, not a lot of resources, and we always had a place for you. And I think our challenge as we enter our next kind of chapter of our history is how do we make sure that that promise is still available, that if you come and you work hard, there'll be a place for you in the city of Bethlehem.
That's right.
And that's something I know you've been working on for your whole life, and that's what we're focused on. And
my grandparents came here, like I said, 100 years ago.
We could not be more excited. Like I said, I think everybody in Bethlehem has known you for a long time. And it's just, you know, we could not be more excited about, you know, just your energy, your history, all of the wonderful things you've brought to the community. And, you know, this is the beginning of something special.
I know. And I'm feeling and I'm excited to be here and to do this job. So thank you very much for all of your help.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Enix, for your time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.